Welcome back to Wargaming World, to Belgium 1914, and a game of 1 Hour Wargames. Now, I'm sure many people are very familiar with 1 Hour Wargames by Neil Thomas, and I'm going to put together a game and video of about 15 minutes. So I'm going to try and keep to the same idea that Wargames should be, or can be, I should say, practical, straightforward, quick, and very enjoyable. So let me show you what's going to take place in this game. Now, the rules that I'm going to follow are chapter 16 in this book, which is the machine age wargaming, and effectively for this it's 1900 to 1939. And as you'll see, there are 4 types of troops: infantry, heavy infantry, artillery and cavalry. Heavy infantry is that that is supported with machine guns. The rules are very simple. We've got it's an I go, you go process, so you'll see it through the game as we play it. Very simple: move, shooting and eliminate units. And this is the scenario. So both forces are looking to take the objectives, which are in the 2 corners of the table. Right, so if you've followed my videos over the past couple of years, you'll know that I've got a very long table. So it's the table is 8 foot by 3, but effectively what we're going to concentrate is 3 foot by 3 foot. You'll also see on the screen what this grid looks like, and we'll see that in the bottom left hand corner we've got an area which has been shattered, which has previously been the station effectively for this rail track. And in the top corner we've got woods which the Germans hold. So the objective for both forces is to take both of the 2 objective positions. So just to reinforce the point, as the book says, is that we don't need lots of figures. Here I've got 6 units. The ones on the far right hand side is just the general, so ignore that figure, that's just for show. I've got 4 infantry units. One with machine gun is going to be the heavy infantry. We've then got 1 cavalry and 1 artillery. And so I've set up first of all with the British cavalry on the right hand side, got infantry in the middle, we've got the heavy infantry in reserve, and then on the left hand side I've got 1 infantry unit, and also got the artillery here on the left. So we set the British up first, then we set up the Germans. Similarly, we've got 4 units, 4 infantry units, but the heavy infantry, you can see, is next to the cavalry, and then there's artillery at the back. So because the British have deployed first, and they will go first in the first turn, and this will be a game of 15 turns. Turn 1, British first, and the cavalry move 12 inches, the infantry move 6. Okay, so all of the British units have moved here. The infantry can move up to 6 inches, and the cavalry 12, but it's gone in line with the infantry. It means that it's actually in range of the Germans. You can't move and fire, so it'll be a choice for the Germans, but I've still got the artillery. So I've got the artillery. It can fire 48 inches, and the target are these Jaegers. 1d6, we've got 5 here, so each unit can take up to 15 casualties. Over to the Germans, we've got a choice. Remember, the objective is to take this area here, but they're going to start off just by firing, and this unit is the target. 2. I'm going to fire at this target again. 6 will this one, so this unit now up to 8 casualties, up to 10. This unit has the machine gun, so it's a d6 plus 2. Target is the unit right in front, so that's 6 in total. For the other 2 units, I've moved them onto what might be a weaker British flank here, and that is the end of turn 1. On the right flank I've moved the cavalry and the infantry up rather than fire. These 2 units are going to fire, and I'll also fire with the artillery. This unit first of all. That's 3. This unit and the artillery will fire at those Jaegers. Those dice actually. And that's an additional 9. Right, that's 14 at the end of the British action. The Germans, the Jaeger and the artillery will fire at this unit. 2d6 effectively. That's 8. That unit is removed. Infantry and cavalry continue to move here as the British are now very exposed on this flank. 2 units can fire. So the ones on the left hand side will fire this unit. That's a 6. That's up to 12. This unit with the machine gun are going to fire at the same target. It adds 2 to the roll, and at 12 we know that they're going to be knocked out. So plus 4, 16, they're removed. That's the end of turn 2. Okay, with the move with the cavalry, the British dismount the mounted rifles and occupy the objective. So at this point the British hold both objectives, but naturally we're only in turn 3. These units have moved, looking to try and get some cover of those units. We'll fire at that one. 5, 8 casualties. The artillery will actually fire at that target also. 3 more. 11 in total, and we're over to the Germans. Right, lots of movement from the Germans. So cavalry moving towards the artillery here and the objective, as are that 2nd infantry unit. 2 units have wheeled and are now pointing in the direction of the cavalry. This unit with the machine gun is going to fire at this unit, as is the artillery. Adds 2. That's 7. Artillery is 1. So now we have 8 casualties there. It's the end of turn 3. You can make your own conclusions about how this game is going, but I think it's advantage to the Germans. The cavalry here will fire at that infantry. As it's cavalry firing, so it's going to be -2 on this roll. So this unit will be removed, and it is. I've wheeled that infantry unit. I've continued to move with this one in this direction, desperate as the situation might be. And as far as the artillery is concerned, I think we're going to fire at the unit at the front there, which has just wheeled round. 6. Okay, cavalry can't enter into woods. Infantry can, so the infantry is aiming to take out the artillery in the next turn. However, this cavalry has turned. The purpose of going through this way is that it can't get shot at, but it can't go through it. However, it's aiming to attack this unit at some point. This unit will fire at the cavalry. Half affects the shooting with them being in woods, and it still will be a 1. We'll fire at this unit, but again it will be in cover. Half effect, but rounded up, so it's a 2. 10 casualties in total. This unit wheels, so it can face that unit, but that's the end of turn 4. This unit has moved. Cavalry again will fire at this unit, losing 2. Yes, that's no effect. This unit will fire at them. That's 5. It goes up to 11. The artillery is going to fire that unit again with 11. And with a 4, that unit's removed. Well, we're almost at a mirror of each other, in the sense that the British have now taken their objective up at the top, but I think it's going to be a case of the Germans taking theirs here. Let's see. This unit advances to the artillery, and I'm going to say that the artillery rout, so I'm going to remove them from the board. Right, with the artillery gun, I'm going to fire with the gun up at the top here at that unit, and then I'll charge with the cavalry. If this unit disappears, I think the game is done. Artillery 2 takes it up to 12. Cavalry charge might not be in hand-to-hand combat, but certainly the impact is 1d6 -2 for cavalry. Obviously, if we get 6 or a 5, then this unit is removed. Oh, just a 1. The unit remains. These 2 units are about 13 inches away from each other, so I'm not going to move the Jaegers in close enough to be fired at, so that's the end of turn 5. Right, at that point I'm going to call it. That is a German victory. They've taken the objective here. This British unit is on its last legs, and even though it might fight, it can't knock out the cavalry in their turn, but will be knocked out in the German turn. They've taken that objective here, and at the top there, in terms of the British, in order to act close, it'll have to move first to get within any kind of suitable distance, and by then ultimately I think we'll have the Germans with better advantage. So in the tradition of this game, a 1 hour war game, I'm going to call it as a German victory and a really good 1 hour war game. So just leaves me to say thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the game. If the 1 hour war games is new to you, then I'd highly recommend it. It's been a terrific game, really simple to use, and definitely something that I'll play and put out on videos again. So thanks again, and see you soon.